Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I'm just getting organized. Got a couple minutes before we get started, so welcome if you're just popping in. I hope you stay and paint with us. We're just vibing with the art tribe here, and we just hang out and paint treasure boxes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's just something I love to do, and people love to get them for gifts or souvenirs or whatever. So before we get started, and as people trickle in, hopefully, this is the one that I worked on last Tuesday, if you were here. And I have parts that I have to fix still, but I did seal this. I just misted it because I'm working with the unicorn spit. With this Minwax polyurethane spray, and I really like this. I'm just trying it out, trying different products out, but that seems to give me the seal that I'm looking for, where I can keep working on top of that unicorn spit background and not disturb it. So we're going to try that again today, because so far so good. I did work some more on the inside of the box, as you can tell. Welcome everybody. Yeah, so I gave a fairy that lives in this mushroom a grotto, but I have to continue to work on that. So there's places in there that just kind of mushed together when I sprayed that, like the rug area over here, wherever it is. And it's just not clear. I want this to be really rocky looking. So I want to do a little bit of work on that today, possibly. And just answer questions if you're new to treasure box making. That's what I'm here for. Help you out if I can answer any questions. And if you have any answers to questions that come through, please feel free to jump in there. So I love learning from everybody. Hey Grat, welcome. So yesterday, or whenever it was, I ended up with this somewhat kind of space looking mushroom. And that's the one we're going to be working on primarily today together. But I really did like the crazy straight lines of that bright white. So I'm going to leave that alone. I misted it just super light, hopefully just to keep from messing with that. I have nothing on the inside yet, so we have got some work ahead of us. But it's fun work. It's playtime. So that's what we'll be doing today. Oh, thank you. Hey, I love your wood burning, Grat. That's just amazing what you do. If you guys are into wood burning or think you might like to get into it, check out Gratimus there. And it just looks so fun. I want to do it every time I see you do that. Welcome, TD Gleason. Thanks for the likes, my hubby. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, before I do, though, of course, I want to talk about a ring holder situation. When we're doing the ring holders, you know, if you don't get all the way down to the bottom, there's going to be an air bubble, so it'll give you a divot right there. And we realized that you can get rhinestones that fit in that divot, so the next time you're doing resin, you just drop a little bit of resin on the tip and then fit it with a pretty little rhinestone of your choice that matches. So easy fix, and it kind of looks cool. So this one, I'm not worried about that as much as I am this red mark. I don't know where that came from. Maybe it was something already in my mold, but that's not cool. So I have a ring holder mold, and if you do, I suggest we try this. A ring holder mold that's the same shape but bigger. So I can just drop this, like put resin in it and drop this down inside like I did before on a different shape one. But before I do that, I'm going to paint something on this. And I already wanted a mushroom ring holder to go in one of these boxes, these treasure boxes, to sell like as a set, or like this would be a gift if you bought the box. So not you, I'm just saying. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. Put a mushroom on here somewhere, or a mushroom scene, and then drop it down into some very clear resin, maybe a little bit of glitter in there, I don't know, you know, and then see what happens. So that's what I'm going to be doing over the weekend, so stay tuned. I will be posting those things. So, oh, you're welcome, Grat. Seriously, I do love your work, and if you are interested in wood burning, people, head out that way to Gratimus, follow him, and get good tips, and he's fun. And not only that, just a million other things. You got to see what he does. It's crazy. So there's a lot of great artists on this platform, I gotta say. All right, so I just want to block over my mushroom for a second and do some spackling. You know, just kind of flick the galaxy over it because it already looks like a spaceshipy mushroom, and I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to go with it. So you do you, whatever you're doing, and I'm just going to play and paint here, and I hope you have a good time hanging out. Ask questions if I miss you. You can ask them again or DM me and I'll get back to you because I'm not trying to ignore anybody. It's just difficult, you know, to paint and chat and read. So, but I appreciate everybody's follows. It's just been really cool. I do love to go around to other people's lives that are doing art and watch everybody. It's so fun. And get to know them a little bit, you know. The personalities are as varied as the art, and I love that. All right, so the first thing I think I want to do is just try to mask my unicorn spit mushroom cap. Just the edge of it. Because I do want to try. And it may ruin it, and that's okay at this stage, whatever. So I'm using this liquid frisket, and don't shake it because it'll give it bubbles, but you are supposed to stir it, though I don't see or feel a difference once I've stirred it, so I guess, but it does stink. It just stinks. But it works, so worth it. All right, so just get a little bit on a brush. I'm going to pour it into one of these little caps, these bottle caps that I use for mini palettes. Not pour it, but it does go a long ways. And my hope in doing this is to leave that line alone on my mushroom and not get any galaxy on the mushroom, because I want the galaxy look in the stars behind the mushroom. But I didn't put them in first, and I do want to do that splatter thing. So I have to cover my mushroom. I could cover it with, you know, paper, and I still may, but I just want to make sure it's exactly where I want it. And you just paint it along as if you're painting paint. And wherever you put this liquid mask, it's covering up the bottom, so you're masking over the part you don't want touched. And then once it dries and you're done with whatever it is that you're doing, you can come back with a little rubber eraser and kind of go like this on it, and it'll start lifting up a very rubbery glue-like product. And that is the dried liquid mask. And it just peels right up. However, I'm testing it on this barely sealed unicorn spit, and my guess is it will probably remove some of the color, but I don't know how much. But you never know until you try, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to experiment today. Because if this works, misting my base with that Min Wax right here, and then waiting for it to dry and then doing another layer. This brings a whole new, I don't know, a whole new world opens up on this unicorn spit like that to me. Because you can just keep doing layer after layer and not lose what you put down. I'm just going to go ahead and cover the whole thing. And I have my doubts about how the wisdom of this move. But, you know, that's what painting is all about. As my husband reminded me this morning, it's the journey. It is. It's the fun of it. Where's the unicorn spit, Grat? It's out here. That's all I'm using anymore, it seems. Have you tried any unicorn spit on your wood products that you wood burn, Gratimus? Welcome, everybody. I'm just masking on top of a mushroom with a liquid frisket, hoping it does not peel up or bleach out my unicorn spit base. I did have it dry and then sprayed the polyurethane Minwax over the top, just one light spritz. So if it does take it up, you know, the color up, it's understandable. And I may end up going back and painting over the top of this again. You just never know. Just go with the flow. Just enjoy the process. Enjoy playing in your paint. Powder dye in water, but only a few times. Oh man. I hope you go for it one of these times. I think you'd really love it. I was talking to my son who does wood carving, and he made that delicate, gorgeous hand-carved rose from wood, and he loves the natural colors of the wood, and I understand that. You know, he likes to highlight the grains and the colors that are naturally in there. But then I sent him spit anyway. And I sent him the sparkling spit to my marine, my woodworker. Anyway, but like he said, and we talked how it could be just on the tips of the leaves, you know, the green iridescent. It's not glitter, it's iridescent, or just on the tips of the rose or something, like it's actually starting to come to life. Maybe cool. So I'm thinking with you, Gratimus, you might end up doing something similar on your wood burning. Yes, I agree. I'm just covering up all of this mushroom. Okay, so all right, so you can see where all those streaks are. Is the white is the frisket is not dry yet, and the shiny, where it's shining black and blue through, is it's dry. So it dries clear, and then once it's all clear, then you can go ahead and do whatever art you want all over, and then you can go back and peel up that frisket, and your mushroom should still be there without everything on top of it. So there's that. So while that's waiting to be dry, thank you. Welcome, James. Let's go ahead and work a little bit on this. the inside here is it's just going to take a lot of detailing with stuff that you guys aren't probably going to be able to see. But I do like the little grotto. And that happened because I put a chair. First I painted the round rug, and then I put a chair on top of it and a footstool. And then I put another chair. And then I blended both those chairs into a couch. And then I turned it into a hot tub, and then I thought, nah, it's it's a spring or something in the mushroom. So that's what it turned out to be, just some grotto, you know, in the inside of the mushroom. So I've got a little bit more to do with that, but I want to fix those, you know, paint marks and stuff that's bugging me right now, so that I don't forget to fix them and then resin it. I don't want to do that. So I'll fix the outside, then we'll go to the inside and work on that, and hopefully by then this will be dry enough to start doing some fun stuff with it. Alright, so I need some green, and I am using the unicorn spit. That's for Grat. Get a little bit of green. And the unicorn spit is a gel stain, just in case you've never painted with it before. It does not have any polymer in it. So you use it just like you would if you're working with wood, just like you would a stain, except it's in very, you know, saturated, vibrant colors. So that's so fun. And then there's sparkling as well, which is iridescent. And it'll just seep right into that wood grain if you spritz your wood grain with water first and then apply it. When it dries, those little iridescents are in the grain, and it's just beautiful. You can do lots of different fairy wood looking things with it. And you can, on your substrate, whether it's a box or metal tin or canvas, you can be using unicorn spit and then alcohol inks and then acrylics, and then at the end spray it with a oil-based spray, and then go ahead and resin it afterwards, or just do several more coats drying in between. So, and you can get matte sprays if you don't like the shiny, but I do like the shiny, which is why I like the resin a lot. So, but are there any questions about that? See, now you laugh when you say it. Alright, so let me see if I can get this blue, whatever that is, off and put it back to green. That's really a bright, bright green up there that was not here earlier. So let me go ahead and mix in some black. Should be shaking these up before you use them, especially on the sparkling, because the iridescence will goop up at the bottom. So I just dipped my same green brush into some black, and I'm gonna just bring it back down across. Just could not match the color exactly on my shroom corner, so I'm just gonna blend it until it gets close enough, and then pull that same dryish brush across, and that should do it. As long as it's not like just a random piece of green that isn't anywhere else. So you can take that same brush and bring it down across where some of that other color is already. Might be nice. Okay, I'd like to add some of those fins underneath and some highlights on this shroom. So, welcome. So I'm going to take my 30 palette knife, the one that has the two sides, you know, you've got a little one here and a longer one there. That's one of the coolest palette knives, and I just really love it. I'm going to see if I can clean it up a little bit. I'm pretty sure there's resin on here somewhere. But I got the blade part clean, so that's all I want for now. Okay. Welcome, White House. Otaku. Alright, so this is my mask. I don't need that. So I want some color for highlights. The mushroom itself looks to be kind of fleshy purple, yellows. So I'm going to reach for a yellow. And then also the glitter purple, which is going to be more than likely a very weird looking brown, but that's okay because mushrooms are weird like that. See all the residue at the bottom? And that's with the sparkling, so shake it well. Okay, let's just see what kind of color that gave us. Just mixing that sparkling, don't know, Starling Sasha in with the non-sparkling unicorn spit, which is Lemon Kiss. That's these two. And I'm just going to lay it down on this edge. Let's see. Right here. So there's a lot more of the reddish purple that came out. Let me add a little white, yellow, white. I'm just tapping it along the edge. I add a little white. And get a deeper purple. I'm gonna go with the, let's see, Violet Vulture, of course, sparkling. But I do like that color combination, just not maybe right there. Welcome, Mary. I don't know if you guys are out there doing treasure boxes today or just watching, but I hope you're creating as well, or will go play on your paint afterwards. Okay, so here's your Violet Vulture sparkling. I'll just tap it along wherever I want that iridescent but darker. And just use it like a paint. It's thin. It's really nice to work with, I have to say, this unicorn spit. Just know that as soon as you put water on it again or spit on it again, it's going to reactivate. So just knowing that helps determine what you want to do. If you want to get it to stop, then just go ahead, let it dry, and spray seal a mist of sealer on it. That's an oil-based sealer. And then wait for that to dry, and then you can keep going again. So that's what I did here. So far, so good. It was a test to see if I'll be able to paint over my unicorn spit without moving it around. I only misted it a couple times on this green shroom one, and it seems to be holding just fine. So that's cool. Really got a pretty dry brush here, not any much color on it. And I'm just kind of blending it. Blending those colors in a little bit more. And I think the spit really blends well with each other. It plays like alcohol inks, if you've ever used alcohol inks, and how they just flow and make their own very cool colors. That's what happens with the unicorn spit. So That's why I really do love this product. At first, it took a while at first. It was a little frustrating, it seemed, because I guess I just didn't know what to expect. You know, they said it was a stain. It's not, you know, acrylics. It didn't have that glue in it that acrylics has. So, you know. But it still took me quite a while to figure it out. And then once I started realizing what I can do with it, I can mix it straight into my acrylics and make my acrylics so vibrant and saturated and permanent. It's just amazing. Alright, so just whatever's left on my brush with the purple and the black, I'm just bringing it down the darker side of my mushroom here. Just giving that little bit more extra shadow over there. I may go in and lighten it again, but just playing with highlights, low lights, you know, dark and light, that's all. Thanks for all the likes, you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, so I put purple with white, and I want to just tip it up here a little bit. And maybe a little yellow and white. I'm just guessing, just putting colors here and there. That's how I do my art, and that's what I'm comfortable with, and that's what works for me. You can do your art any way you want. You know that, right? Do whatever makes you happy. And everybody's is different. Everyone has a different vibe, a different feel, and it's a beautiful thing when you come to the point and realize that's them, that's fabulous. It's not me. I'm different. I'm going to just do it my way, and you know, it's just freeing to be able to just paint and see what happens, you know? And when I used to paint portraits of pets and people, you couldn't do that, you know? You couldn't just, oh, that looks like a dragon, and take off, you know? I couldn't. So it's beautiful when you find something you love to do, and it can just be all yours, any which way. And you don't have to know how to draw. Sorry I'm not too chatty, just getting over COVID. Wasn't fun, but it's almost gone. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you survived. Seriously. That's okay. I usually carry conversations by myself anyway. Sadly. Alright, so I'm just adding some more dark, really dark, right under here in this area. It almost looks like I want to just walk into that. So the latch is going to go right there, and then it almost looks like I want to just walk into that. So the latch is going to go right there, and then you are going to walk into that. So that's fun. I'm just pretty much avoiding that right now, but I'm going to finish getting this light blue mess from my water inside off of that, and then we'll go inside for just a little while. I do want to do something with the back of the box and the side, but just not today. But before this is finished, it really needs, I think, since there's just one little guy, big guy, on the front, I kind of wanted to at least make it look like there may be pathways, not real busy like that floral box I did, but just something. Otherwise, nah, I don't know. All right. I'm just going to dip my brush. I'm going to get a thinner one. What my favorite brush is the square flat brushes. That's one of my favorites. The other is what I was just using, which is the blending brushes. They're really fine, soft, and rounded. I'm going to get one of these flat ones. Just dip the edge in water, wipe it off, and then just run it along the side where your highlights are, just tapping in. So you don't have like a full line of highlight, you just have spots of highlights. I like that, the way that looks. Okay, so it looks like, checking out our masking fluid, it looks like it's almost all dry. And even on the bottom, because you can't see it, you just see the mushroom really glossy, and that gloss tells you you've got masking fluid down. So there's a little few wet spots that are still pretty milky. I'm just gonna let it keep drying for a little bit. But before we go, I do want to get that Galaxy over it and then peel off that frisket for you so you can see if it worked or not on the unicorn spit. And that was sealed just with a mist of this one time. Yes. Yeah, oh, and I love texture. So fun. Okay, I really like the orangey look that happened in that. I just want it some other places. And this white is just too white, so I'm going to mess with that just a little bit more. And if you can try, this is what helps me out anyway, is if you can try to, if you were actually looking at this mushroom and you took your brush and were going around the contours of the mushroom with your brush, that's how your brush stroke should be. Should be in my head, because it gives the best form, like when you're doing the different colors and the highlights. If you're stroking the mushroom with the brush in the same shape, you know, like if it's rounded, then you arch over it nice and slow, just as if you could feel the mushroom itself under your brush. And those are the directions you'll go. Like this is really rounded, you can go around it, feeling with the brush the roundness of the base of that mushroom, that stem. And as you do that, then you'll get those striations of different colors that show you that the mushroom is rounded. I hope that made sense. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Galaxy mushroom, and we're going to see if we can do the Galaxy stars. And so I want white unicorn spit, and I don't know if if it's going to absorb those other colors, but I really don't think that would matter if it did. That would be fine. I'm just looking for the right brush. I have like a really, there we go. This might work. And what I do, because every time I do this, I can't remember, is it this way you flick it down or up to get where the direction you want? So what I do is I do it in the trash first on a piece of paper to figure it out. But just put the white unicorn spit down and load up an old, very stiff, bristled toothbrush or anything. Let me just try it, make sure I know what I'm doing. That didn't work. Okay, so what it is you just take it like you were gonna fling something at someone. You've got your loaded up bristles right there, and you hold it down, and then let me get rid of this because it'll just shoot all over there. Okay, like this, and you're just gonna fling it that way, right? So just very cool. All right, now all of the flinging that I did on top of that mushroom should not be there when we get rid of the frisket that we put down, okay? So all of the galaxy stars will be everywhere but the mushroom, in theory. So let's let it dry up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and use a heat gun to kind of speed up the process a touch on low. Yeah, very cool. All right, so let's see if we can pull some of this up. See if it's dry enough yet. It may not be altogether dry enough. But I take a rubbery eraser, like a gum eraser or something like that, and just rub it around on it until it starts lifting it up. Okay, it is peeling my unicorn spit up in places, but do you see it? See it? Isn't that cool though? So all of the stuff we just flung onto it is not going to be on the mushroom. I don't know if the color is still going to be on the mushroom either though. Whatever. Okay, it did. Got some of it. So how cool is that? The mushroom didn't get the galaxy, just around it. And I'm pretty happy with that frisket over the unicorn spit, because remember we sprayed it but just once to make sure that the unicorn spit would not just instantly reactivate. So we only had a light mist of sealer of the Min Wax polyurethane spray over the unicorn spit. So that was cool. And then we put the liquid frisket over that, painted it on, and waited for it to dry. Then we spritzed our, with the paintbrush or the toothbrush, put our galaxy stars in there. And then came back and peeled off the frisket. So I think that was a pretty cool experiment. We'll be doing that again, I think, because that was awesome. Yep. Thank you. Hey, George the cowboy. How are you doing today? Alright, so there's that. I'm not going to mess with this right now because my galaxy is wet. I just put it there. So what I'm going to do is sometime this weekend, wait till it dries, spritz it with this to seal it again. And then once that dries, I can go ahead and do whatever else I want, and we'll just keep doing it in layers. That's the best way to work with unicorn spit as far as painting with it. That's what I'm finding anyway for what I want to do. So that's cool. Let's check on our other box. Okay, so I've cleaned up where the blue was in the back and the blue up at the top, but I don't like that real bright green, so I'll be messing with those colors a little bit more. I do really like the unicorn spit on this wood. In the colors that it just creates is amazing. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do all that detail stuff offline, but I'll try and do time lapse if you guys are interested in seeing how I do any of that. So, because it's so tiny and detailed, you wouldn't see anything anyway. So, but you guys, I appreciate you coming in today. I'm going to call it quits. And it was a quickie. But you have a beautiful Thursday, Friday, and weekend. Love and light to you all.